J-E-T-S,
Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
and the home of the Jets.
Look at that intro.
Whoa! First of all, that's a rockin' track. Holy shit!
See,
What is that?
Well, I got to thank Doug Winkowski, who reached out and said, hey, man, if you need a new song, I'll hook you up. So thank you to Doug. And then the video is courtesy of Romeo. So,
whoa. What now? Because we were going to use like an Exodus song, but I guess it was taken down because I guess we can't use somebody else's track.
Nope.
Jeez. But that's rocking, man. Oh
yeah.
God, that pumped me up. I was like, the drum.
That's what we're all about here, man. We're changing things up around here. We got to keep up with you guys.
Well, you guys are way ahead of us. Forget it.
So everybody knows you, obviously. But Joe Cat, what's up, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm well, sir. I'm well. Thank you for having me on. This is a blast with my favorite a third of my favorite show. Yes. I mean, again, Tyrone got me on the phone the other day for 43 minutes. Every time it's 43 minutes. He always says he's working, but he's not working.
So here's the question I have for you, because we're going to talk about a lot of things. And I'm doing the opposite of what you guys did to me, because when I went on your show, Dan gave me a huge agenda and followed absolutely none of it. So I'm not going to give you any agenda with nothing to follow. We're just going to freestyle this stuff. But
that's fine. So
you started out as just calling into our show and stuff like that. And now you're a content creator, dude. Now you're your own channel.
We use that loosely, that term.
Yes, but you guys are starting. How's the experience been for you, dude? Has it been like wild, or a lot of more work than you thought, or what?
No, I mean, I love it. Like, it's definitely a lot of work. Like, nobody ever plans, like, I'm sure you guys know, like, nobody plans for, like, especially when the shit's happening in real time, right? Like, that's like the hardest. Like, and that's the one thing we were never gonna do. We're leaving the videos up to you, Ryan. All these guys that do the videos. So who's the guy that does from Florida? What's his name? Jet Central.
Yep.
Ian. He does it from his car.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I told Dan right away, we're not doing that. Let those fellas do it. We'll cover it later.
Tyrone, you were in the video, bro. Do you want to watch it again? Go watch it's always about him somehow.
He's in the first clip.
No kidding. It's always about him. He does the least amount of work, but he wants the most attention.
It's unreal. It's unreal. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I listened to you guys for probably 8 years, but I never called in until this year, because there was nothing, there was nothing really to talk about until this team actually was like, holy shit, we're making moves. But it's definitely, I love it too. And I love trolling. So I'll be that asshole. Like, I don't care about the brand. Like, me and Dan don't care. It's
I noticed that.
Yeah, we don't care. So we will troll all the time, and we will troll players who are going to speak out against the team.
No, that's the one thing that I try to always stay to. Just be genuine and authentic, man. Like, we'll never be fake. Like, we're never going to be like, hey,
right.
If you see a skunk walking by, like, oh, it's a great, Doberman. No, it's a skunk. Right? We know exactly what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, and now you got your sponsors are joining us now.
Well, it's I like how these two shows. I told Tyrone on the phone. I said, we'll just go under you guys we'll be your employees. We'll be like an after hours Jets Talk, Let's Talk Jets radio show.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So you guys are cranking out all kinds of content. I guess we'll talk some Jets, and then we're going to talk about a really cool event you guys have coming up this weekend too. So
very good.
The biggest news, obviously, is Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Ravens, which I found fascinating because prior to that, the Jets were the front runners. Everybody, Connor Hughes was saying, everybody's like, he's going to the Jets. You saw the video, him walking with Sal at the basketball game. Right. And I was like, all right. And we were talking about if he was going to come to the Jets, what do you want to offer him? We're like, 10 million with incentives, maybe this, maybe that. And then you see 15 million guaranteed, bro. And I'm like, you know what? There's no way in hell you can give him that.
No. I mean, listen, all the people. I mean, half of our fan base probably wanted him, but if that's just silly money. Like you can sign 2 or 3 dudes for that. Like we have more holes. I think our receiver room's good. And it's like if you're not going to bring back Corey Davis on a restructure, then he's definitely part of the trade. It's that cut and dry for me.
Yep.
But I don't know. He's just a headache, and it's like I just don't get. Now DeAndre Hopkins' number went up 100% because if this guy with 2 ACLs who barely plays every year is getting $18 million, I listen. I think it's a smart move that the Jets didn't do it because we'd be all flipping out that we gave him $18 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you even saw a lot of the other analysts are saying this money's just crazy. Like the Ravens had to go above beyond again for Lamar Jackson because I think they were desperate.
Oh yeah,
Giants and everybody else are probably like, listen, we can't do that, especially when you have Garrett Wilson sitting here. You got Lazard, you Hardman, like that,
right.
Like they're bringing in Beckham with the Ravens to kind of save their offense. The Jets already have a lot of good pieces there. You're just going to be like a complimentary piece. You're not going to be the guy. You know what I mean?
Right. And all the Jet fans on Twitter too, they're like, oh, the ones that wanted OBJ. Oh man, we should Joe Douglas just sat on his hands and waited. Like that's like the moniker going around.
Yeah.
And it's like you have like Jet fans are like treating Garrett Wilson like a number 2.
Yep.
Like he's a number 1. And
legit number 1.
Right. Like this, and I get it's weird because we've never had a number 1.
Yep.
So maybe it's new for these people to realize what a number 1 is, but I don't understand. Like OBJ would have been fine across the middle, like a big body slot, but I don't really. McCole Hardman's got a lot more to offer than people think.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like you look at what Garrett Wilson did with no quarterback. Like
right.
Look at his numbers last year. Like
exactly.
learning the ropes of the NFL, learning how to play with not only one quarterback, like 4 quarterbacks,
right,
and still putting up numbers. I mean, that's like you give him a Rodgers, dude. The sky's the limit. Like he could have like astronomical numbers. So you have that. You have Lazard, who's already got rhythm and rhyme with Rodgers.
Right.
Hardman's gonna be a speedster.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other like I get the whole thing of Beckham. To me, it's like the more the merrier. Like you want to bring in a lot of talent, great, but you can't overpay for it. But now the interesting player is the Corey Davis thing. I continue to think he's part of the trade package. I do because the Packers keep saying they need a veteran leader in the wide receiver room, all that stuff. That cap space we need desperately. I get the feeling he's going to be a part of that mix, though.
I mean, I'm leaning towards it more because the Packers tried trading for him last year at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So if they already tried once trading for him, there's 100% that he's part of the package. Or you got to just sit him down and be like, listen, dude, you're hurt all the time. You can't catch for shit. Yep. You want $5 million? Because honestly, that's his worth.
Yeah. So now everybody's back on the Mims thing. And listen, Denzel Mims has so many different opportunities to take off and do things here where, tons of injuries at the wide receiver position. He could take advantage of that. He didn't do it. So now it's like, well, maybe a new coordinator and Aaron Rodgers will save him.
No.
Maybe.
No, there's no. He can't do it. I mean, you saw it last year. How many balls were right in his hands? Yeah. He can't catch. Like it, but he doesn't cost anything. That's the other thing too. Yep. Is like, what is he getting paid $1 million this year? Yeah. So it's like he's just really just filling a slot.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a chance, but I don't have any expectation. Like I think the Jets, they want to go out and get somebody now. The Hopkins thing, you can't trade for him because you can't give up compensation plus his current contract. His current contract is an albatross. I think it's a $30 million cap hit this year. You can't afford that when you're trying to squeeze Aaron Rodgers in here. But if he gets released, which may happen because, I mean, everybody's in the same boat. Hopkins is a great player, but they're not going to do it. If he gets released, things get interesting because then you can get creative with the numbers you're being offered. Would you make a play for him?
Yeah, 100%. But now after this Odell Beckham thing, he's going to be comparable for the money. And it's like
huge money.
I can fill 2 holes. Like we have to sign Quan back. What's Quan going to be worth, and then go after Kareem Hunt. Like you still can't put all my eggs in Michael Carter's basket. I really can't after last year.
Because you hate him.
Well, he did regress last year. I don't care if he was hurt or not. Maybe he was hurt, whatever it is. But I don't know. I need a little bit more explosiveness in the back.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if he's built like a big body guy on a 3rd and 2.
So,
You know what I mean?
so like the one thing now is you're hearing a lot of really good things about Breece Hall, but I mean, I think it's too much to ask that he's going to come back week one and be the same guy we thought. It's going to take him, I'd say, probably 5 to 6 weeks to get in the flow. Michael Carter was a down year last year. I thought he was better than that, but whatever. But dude, I like Zonovan Knight for some reason. Am I the only one I like everybody's like, oh, we got to get these guys. Like,
no, everyone's writing them off.
Yeah, like didn't he show something? Like, dude, and now you figure he's going to get an off season to bulk up a little bit, get a little bit more. He's got a little taste of the action, but he's shown what he can do.
Right.
I like him. I don't like Ty Johnson too much. Right?
No.
But if you're going to look at, the whole Ezekiel Elliott thing didn't make any sense to me. But the two guys that kind of got my eye were Leonard Fournette and Kareem Hunt. I've always liked Fournette because he's just a house, dude. He just drags people and he can get you those short yards, goal line, all this stuff. Hunt, another guy that's bigger. Those make sense at least, right?
I mean, dude, I said it to you weeks ago with Fournette. I was like, Fournette, Kareem Hunt, even Zeke, they're going to be in the $4 million range. Like, and everyone's like flipping out like, oh, I don't want this guy. I want this guy. Like, dude, we have to plan for Breece Hall. Like, he's going to come back, but he's not going to come back at that rate. 100% not. Yep. He's going to take him a couple weeks, like you said, to come in. So even if you give a guy $4 million for a year, like, I'd rather have that. And again, Bam Knight, I love Bam Knight, but we don't know if we're catching that Sean Green flash in a bottle. Like Sean Green had the postseason, then he flamed out. Yep. I don't know if Bam Knight's that guy yet. You're gonna see it this year. But I would pick up Kareem Hunt for $4 million.
Yeah, I would too.
Or Fournette. It's stupid not to.
Yeah, I like those guys. And those are they're just legitimate move the pile of guys. I mean, that's the only thing, So, and then you look at that, but it all starts with the offensive line. And this is kind of the story really nobody's talking about. We're all waiting for this whole Aaron Rodgers thing to play out. And then the draft's in a few weeks away. But you look at your left tackle coming off a serious injury, and he's older, right? Mm-hmm. Your right tackle hasn't played in 2 years, and his backup got hurt last year. Yep. And you have no center as of right now. So, I mean, to me, offensive tackle is still a big need for this team. And that's saying even with Brown and Beckham being healthy now, it's still a huge need. Is that something with the draft coming up? You're saying, that's got to be a priority?
It definitely has to be a priority, but I also think Joe Douglas is going to definitely be able to fill a lot of depth on the offensive line post June 1st. That's where he really makes his bread and butter, is finding those guys like Dwayne Brown and stuff that, like that kind of caliber player. Like, just give me a year left, whatever. Yeah. Right. Maybe we can get Ben Jones from the Titans, right?
That's got to be the priority, right?
It has to be.
You think he's waiting for Aaron Rodgers right now to sign?
I think he's just waiting for. I mean, has anyone offered him a contract? Nothing, right?
I don't think so.
So I mean, once Aaron Rodgers, even this thing, like if this Aaron Rodgers thing happens on draft night, which I think it's going to, because I think the NFL is scripted. Because if this happens on draft night, this is 1,000% a scripted NFL move.
Just 100% made for TV going
100% because this draft isn't sexy. There's nothing in this draft that is sexy. Nope. Like, you can go to every position. Okay, Bryce Young and Stroud are like just the names because and Anthony Richardson. Richardson is probably. I think Anthony Richardson's going number 1 to the Panthers.
Whoa.
Yep. I'm calling it.
But you're right.
Hot take. It's not sexy. It's not like last year's draft. It's not nowhere near it. Everyone is waiting for next year's draft coming up with Caleb Williams and all these guys. It's just
you have a fan.
Good.
My name is Daniel. I'm a huge fan of yours. But it's funny. Usually we're so used to having like a top 5 pick that we're sitting here, we're overanalyzing draft picks. We're arguing about who's going to go top 3, who's going to go here, who we're going to take. And now it's like with the pick 13, and we don't even know if we're going to have that based on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Like, I like the draft, but I'm not like all hell bent this year as usual. Well, probably also because we're doing draft by like November too, which
well, it's also we don't know where we're picking. Like that's the whole thing. Is like if we're going to trade back, it's not like this year is like I always go through the draft guys like look at tape. And I look at all these guys, and it's almost like the NCAA bracket, right? And you're like, you got your guy here, you're trying to fill him in here. If the Jets trade back, who do we take? All this shit. Everything's held up by this Aaron Rodgers deal. Like, so it's not even fun this year for us. No. You know what I mean? I'm the most uninterested in this draft that I've ever been.
Me too. I'm like, and it's just like, Yeah, there's no like
No.
no fire in it at all. You're like,
I
there's not
know.
like any hot names, not like a guy I covet. And then it's like we don't know what our picks are. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what our cap space is. We don't know anything. I just want
Right.
the trade to be done.
I want people with fucked up names. That's what me and Dan have been doing. So I want Bumper Pool, the linebacker, and Owen Papo. That's what because I just want fucked up names on this team. I think that'll be awesome. But it's like you said, it's just this is the most uninterested any Jet fans ever been in this draft. One, because the draft has really nothing to offer. It's all mid dudes. That's really what it is. It's a mid off. It's like you can probably get some nice players in here, okay, but nobody's gonna wow you. I think Anthony Richardson is probably the best one in the draft.
Do you think they get a veteran center or they draft a center?
I think they get a veteran.
Do you?
Yeah, you have to. How do you?
I think so too. I think Rodgers.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Guy's fucking 40 years old. You gonna put him behind a kid?
Yeah.
You got to put him behind another geezer. Unfortunately, this is the problem when your team just can't fucking develop a quarterback. This is what, your balls are against the wall and people's jobs are on the line.
Is there any world where the Jets can go tight end in the first round?
Oh, with Zach Kuntz? I would love Zach Kuntz. Or Kuntz?
But no, I'm saying, would they go? But could they though? I mean, if Michael Myers, if there's a top tight end there at 13, and the offensive tackles are gone, say the top 3 are gone. Is there a world they can go tight end or no?
Nothing surprises me with this team. You know that. We took Kyle Brady and who else that same draft? We took two.
That was the one slap year.
Yeah, we took 2 tight ends that draft. And then we took 2 safeties one draft. So, I mean, I think Joey Douglas has a little bit better style. But if there's nobody there at 13, maybe who's that? Jackson Smith they're talking about.
Yep, that's everybody wants him.
Yeah, but, I mean, he played with Garrett Wilson at Ohio State, right? Yep. So, I mean, Paris Johnson would be good too. Skoronski's good too. And even the Jingleheimer Schmidt, the kid from Minnesota, the center.
Yep.
John Michael Schmidt.
Yep, another one.
So I don't know. I mean, you can't even fucking speculate. That's the problem. It's like, what do you? I would rather just trade back and just try to recoup as many as you can at this point.
Well, see, the thing is too, it's like if we knew they were going to sign Ben Jones, then center's not going to be a priority in the first round. Like it's like there's so many. Like you just wish, like you just get the feeling once the trade goes down, like 2 other signs are going to happen right after that. Boom, boom, boom. They're like, oh, no. But so. Offense, they have a lot of pieces on offense. The offensive line still concerns me because you don't want Aaron Rodgers running for his life. Mm-hmm. You're hoping that Beck and these guys can figure it out. But then you go on the defensive side of the ball where there's some concerns, dude. The safety position to me, I don't feel comfortable with that. They need a free safety. And then at linebacker, you figure Mosley's a year older. Quincy Williams, fast. It's still a work in progress. But you mentioned him before. Quan's not back. Like they definitely they need a linebacker, dude.
Well, a lot of the Jets' problems this year is bringing like the majority of their money is bringing back the guys from last year.
Yep,
that's what nobody's talking about. Like they got to sign these guys for 1 year. Basically, right now with the Jets, like how I think of it, is the Jets on every side of the ball have to just get like through this year. Because next year they're going to have all the money for the cap. Like next year's cap is 118 million.
Yeah, but there's only like 30 guys under contract though.
Right, that's the problem. So like right now they got to sign these guys to like just a 1 year like Band-Aid, deal until they can free up some more money. Because I mean I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is going to put us in a hole with the Aaron Rodgers thing. But at that point, after this blows up after 2 years, it's back to the drawing board anyway.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, is you figure April 17th, I think they can start their workouts, right? Or something like that.
Right.
And as of now, Quincy Williams isn't going to be there because Quincy Williams said he's not going to show up until he gets his new deal. And to me, he's, of all the players, I think he's actually earned a new contract. And the Jets slow playing is now biting him in the ass because all these guys are getting all these crazy contracts now. Now he's going to be a $100 million player. But would you pay him or are you going to string him out for another year?
I'm not paying him until – like, first of all, he has to do it more than 1 year. He has to. We already got
You're
burned.
Not going to pay him?
No, listen, I'll pay him, but he's got to do – look, his first 2 years were what? 3 sacks and then 5 sacks. So, I mean – and listen, it's not a premium position. It's not a D end. It's not like he's a D end. It's not like he's a cornerback. It's not like that. I can go find another defensive tackle somewhere, honestly. And he's asking –
so you don't think he's one of the best defensive tackles in football?
100%, but he's asking $9 million less than than Aaron Donald. Right. And he's 85 sacks away. He's got to do it He's got to do it more than 1 year.
What if he's a player on the rise, though? He's only going to get better every year. He's still young, dude.
We saw him on the contract. Let him sit. Fuck him. Let him sit. Let him sit.
He's like the anchor of your defense. Like
he's not. He has to play the year. He's got to play the year. He just can't. He'll sit out.
But he can hold out. He can hold out. And he pull like the whole Revis thing. Hold out. Wait till training camp.
With his brother on the team, it will get done. They already signed his brother. They signed his brother. Man. It's gonna get done.
He's one of the guys I'd actually would pay. And I usually don't pay guys. I definitely would pay him though.
I got a hot take for you.
Oh god.
As soon as we pay this guy, he will completely not have 12 sacks ever again. Completely.
He's gonna turn to Leonard Williams.
1,000%. 1,000. It just shows you like you got like the guys that like want to win, right? Like that want to play football and they want to win. Those are the guys you want. Odell Beckham Jr. just cares about Odell Beckham Jr. getting paid. That's the difference in the people. It's like, dude, he had 1 year of 12 sacks. Was it an amazing year? Yes. But he's not Nick Bosa.
He was good the year before too. But this is like the big step year, and like the defense that had actually playmakers on it. You added Sauce Gardner, you had Carl Lawson, you had that. He actually had more talent around him finally.
Listen, he's got I don't know. In my eyes, you got to do it more than 1 year. We already got burned on the JFM, fly by night.
you're just nobody's agreeing with that take. Nobody at all.
I threw a hot take out there. As soon as you pay this guy, he will never get 12 sacks again. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, 100. Write it down because I how many times have we seen this before? Where a guy's gonna hold out? Then hold out. I don't give a fuck.
The whole Muhammad Wilkerson disaster.
Yeah, I'll hold out. He's gonna play. It's gonna get done. Why would they sign this idiot brother first? And if he's not gonna play,
now, poor guy.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Because every play that I've noticed, with majority of the play with Quincy Williams, is that the running back's going this way and Quincy Williams comes this way, completely missing.
How many angles he takes? Terrible.
Oh my god, he's okay. He's not amazing.
So here's a question for you. This is something that it's something that Jet fans argue a lot about, and I kind of back off a little bit because I don't agree with them.
Right?
They're saying going into the season, this is still a top 5 defense.
No,
and it's not.
It's not. Like Jet, how I mean, you've been a Jet fan all your life. These people talk out of their ass like they don't, like they do, like they think that they're better than they are. Like we played scrub quarterbacks, dude. And they fell apart down the stretch too. Right. And then they said, well, we beat Aaron Rodgers. Well, you beat a shitty Green Bay team with no defense, no offensive line. You beat honestly, look at those when we were 7-4. Look at the teams that we played, really. Yep. I mean, come on. You beat the Steelers with Kenny fucking Pickett. You played the Skylar Thompson. Come on, dude. Got lit up by Trevor Lawrence. Right. You didn't even play Russell Wilson. You played Brett Rippon, and he was tearing you a new asshole. So, like, is this defense? I think it's a farce. I think it's totally a farce. I think for this defense to be top 4 or top whatever, they need more turnovers, dude. Like, everyone's talking about the Jet fans talking about this defense like it's the 2000 Ravens. It's not. It's nowhere near that. I think they could be like top 12. But I think if you're top 12. That's good enough if your offense is scoring 24 points a game, 25 points a game. Like the Aaron Rodgers effect where the defense doesn't have to carry you. Right. But I just think when they start playing better offenses, better teams week in and week out, I think they're going to get tested. I think there's some holes. We talked about safety, linebackers a little bit slow. That's kind of, and then the thing, and this is why I can't talk to you. You bring up the negative side of me is it's not negative. It's just being a but I think there's also some challenges with the coaching staff and their scheme. And you kind of get concerned that people are starting to figure out this scheme now and how to attack it. And everybody did towards the end of the year last year. So what adjustments do they make in the offseason? Do they self-scout and make some modifications? How are they going to do that? Because that's another thing I'm worried about too. Like I have some concerns still with Sal and his staff in terms of game management, time management, and the defense. There is no scheme. It's a very bland defense. There's no stunts. There's no blitzing. There's no nothing. They're relying strictly on talent of the player. Mm-hmm. They're drafting players on talent, not to fix the scheme. That's the thing. They're drafting the player, not for the scheme. They're just putting the best players out there. And it's like the first sane Jet fan. Wow. This is the thing, because you have Jet fans that talk out of their ass, and like I'm here to bring you back down. Like that's it. But it's like Bob Saleh is not the head coach you want going into the playoffs. Let's just call it what it is. It's just, you got to call it what it is. I mean, it really is the first time that I've ever seen. Like, I'm a little bit more shaky with Bob Saleh making head coach plays and head coach adjustments than Todd Bowles. If that sounds weird, I am. Yeah, I am. If you
Todd
can't
Bowles' time management was horrendous,
dude. An 8-year-old can call timeouts better in Madden than he can than Bob Saleh. Like, I felt more comfortable with Todd Bowles being as a head coach than Bob Saleh. I do.
Really?
Yeah, because he's running. This isn't the Legion of Boom of 2008, dude. This isn't like this is.
Well, no, I have concerns with the way he handles his defense, dude. And they didn't make adjustments. You're sitting here like you're getting gouged. And the weird thing is, like, some of the games, like the Jacksonville game, like the two biggest games of the year, they didn't show up on defense.
Right.
Not at all. They came out flat as pancakes and got steamrolled. No adjustments. It was embarrassing. I hated it. And then it's like, all right, the way the season ended was terrible too. That's like You're not so. But I think he did some good things. But I'm just not like now. The X factor of all this is he's definitely on the hot seat. This team has to make the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. But he's also got to deal with the whole albatross of Aaron Rodgers. Like that's a whole nother level of management to you. When you have that
whole thing,
the whole elite level quarterback that has a mind of his own, is going to do what he wants when he wants.
Right.
You got to kind of deal with that. And if you blow something like a timeout or something like that, Aaron Rodgers is going to let you on fire. Be like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
well, that's why I want him. I want him completely away from the offense. I want him and Ulbrich to just stay on that side of on the defense. Let these two guys do it. I want Aaron Rodgers to call plays like Peyton Manning did, and all the greats do. But it's also like I'll even ask you with the coaching. Who would you rather have right now if you're playing the Giants in the playoffs? Who do you trust more, Dable or Saleh?
Well, Dable.
Okay.
Heartbeat.
Peterson or Saleh?
Peterson.
Okay.
He won a Super Bowl.
Right. Every single coach. That's why I wanted Deshaun Payton. That's why I wanted. It's like, if you're gonna, I would offer. What'd they give up? 1 pick.
Oh, first round pick. Yeah, I would have sold my soul for him. I wouldn't have cared.
Just give him 13. If we would have just gave him 13, I'm telling you, watch the Broncos this year. Completely turned around this year because of one guy. The problem is we need a guy. This team needs a guy that's been a head coach before. This is going to be the downfall of this team. I think is the coaching. 100%.
It's a legit concern. Like last year, like lost and like the I guess the excuse for the Jets was, well, Zach Wilson sucked, everything else, but they still had a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, and the team melted.
Well, thank God they
all melted. But that was the scapegoat for everybody. So you got him, you got LaFleur, and then it's like, all right, so Saleh's got a lot to answer. This is such a pressing year for him, man. Like,
oh my God,
the defense, it's going to be interesting,
dude. Thank God Zach didn't miss the whole season. We wouldn't be here right now. We would be going into the third year of Zach with Saleh. If he stayed out the whole season, we'd be all pumped. Oh, we got Lazard, we got all these guys, and Zach's in his third year. This is definitely the year.
Yep.
No, like that's it. We how many quarterbacks have we seen? That's the same shit over and over. Like we should be quarterback coach for the Jets. Honestly, we know right away. Every fan watches knows right away if a kid has it or he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, so and the other thing too is like you look at him and then it's like there's still a lot of time left, but I don't even like how they're handling the backup quarterback position because
Tim fucking Boyle.
Yeah, but dude, like if you're gonna sell your soul with Aaron Rodgers and make this a quote unquote win now team, the backup quarterback is got to be a guy that can step in and win football games for you. Boyle 100%. Can't do it. He's what 0-3, and Zach Wilson. I don't want Zach Wilson nowhere near the friggin' field.
It's got to be Matt Ryan, or dare I say Carson Wentz. It's got to be. Listen. I would love to have Matt Ryan as the backup quarterback. You have Aaron Rodgers. If he goes down, you still have a guy that can actually come in and win the game. He's definitely faster than Flacco, but Zach Wilson. If you can't learn behind Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan, that's like the perfect combination of the two quarterbacks that you want to emulate. Then you're completely shot. Like
you gotta do something.
There's no excuses, But they got Tim Boyle, dude. I mean, that's everything about this whole offseason just smells like Jets. It really does.
Well, the Boyle thing, I think, is just in case this gets prolonged where he could actually help teach the offense. He knows, he knows
the offense.
He could help teach the offense till Aaron Rodgers gets in the mix. But other than that, I'm like, dude, I want somebody else. Like, and I'll keep saying it. Like, if this is a win now year, and God forbid Aaron Rodgers gets banged up for 3 weeks, if your playoffs are on the line, You want Zach Wilson or Tim Boyle starting it, or did you want? We already missed out on Minshew, but like a Bridgewater, a Ryan, somebody that actually a competent freaking quarterback.
I would even take Brett Rippon.
Me too. I would have too.
I would actually feel more comfortable with Brett Rippon coming in.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but something better than this Boyle kid.
Well, maybe he's got a great arm. I mean, he's thrown 8 interceptions. And
Probably
3
Nick had a
touchdowns.
big arm too.
Yeah, my man Browning, Dan's man Browning. So it's I don't know. It's just they got to get this. First of all, of course, the Jets are involved in the dumbest exchange of a player ever, right? Like this has never happened before, and of course, the Jets are involved.
Yep.
Like it couldn't have been some other asshole team. We are the asshole team that has had a trade in place for about 60 days now.
Yep.
It's just the craziest thing. The guy goes on national television. If this is about a 3rd-round pick coming back to us, then this is shame on us, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you're not going to make the playoffs this year or you're going to make a run and do something, you're fired anyway. So you're not going to be here for that 3rd-round pick anyway. So who gives a fuck? Like,
yeah, see, I think it's probably about the conditional pick next year, which I agree with. Because
right.
I have a hard time believing Rodgers is playing 2 years until it actually happens. I just don't see it.
I think he actually will. If
you
they
think so?
If they blow him, like if everyone just kisses his ass here, then he'll come back. 100%. 100%. If all they have to do is he's a diva, man. If they just like love him to death, he'll come back next year. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't mind them trying to hold out for a conditional pick though, in case he does retire or he gets
this is next off.
job.
This is our off season next year. 100%. Exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly right.
And this is why I didn't want this. This is exactly why I wanted to go with the nice boy with the eyeliner who's 31 years old, doesn't get hurt. He can't promise you wins. That's what he said in his press conference, but he'll try his hardest. That's what I wanted. I wanted Derek Carr, just a nice fella.
Oh, we're 100% this time next year be having the same conversation. Will Aaron Rodgers play? Will he not? Is he in a darkness retreat? Where is he at? Is he sitting on the beach? Is he working out? What does he do? Like, it's going to be this shit next year is going to be ridiculous. I'm already dreading that, but hopefully we win the Super Bowl. We don't have to deal with that. But what is
We're going to win.
Well, that's once he's in the mix. We're assuming it's going to be done. I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point.
It is.
What is a realistic expectation for this team, though? Like you're saying, Aaron Rodgers is here. They have talent on both sides of the ball. I mean, I think playoffs are a must, right? Yeah, that's what you're thinking. What, at least 10, 11 wins, right?
I think 12 wins, 12-5. And I think they mirror the Sanchez years, where they go to the AFC Championship at least once and a divisional. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
They're not.
Man.
They're not. You're not beating Pat Mahomes. I watched a man win a Super Bowl on one leg. You're not doing it. He did it without Tyreek Hill. He did it with way worse
maybe
weapons
somebody else
than
will
the
beat him.
Jets.
You never know. Maybe someone else knocks him off.
No fucking way. Besides playing Mahomes, you have to go take our coach and put him up against one of the greatest coaches.
Well, it's
a two-headed monster. Is if you have Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, you're good. That's it. Like Chiefs fans are good for the next 7 years. They're good. You talk to them on Twitter. They don't give a fuck, man. They didn't care that they lost Tyreek Hill. They don't care that they're going to lose Frank Clark. They're going to get back there. That's it. It is that's how it is. It's like when you're a Yankee fan in the late 90s. You knew you were getting back to the World Series every year.
After Zach Taylor beat Andy Reid.
Zach Taylor did beat Andy Reid.
I think I think Zach Taylor's a very good coach, though. I mean, Burrow is incredible. Zach Taylor's good,
but
though.
Zach Taylor before Joe Burrow? No.
Well, that's most coaches, though. I mean,
but Andy Reid did go to 5 NFC championships with Donovan McNabb.
So crazy numbers too, though.
Yeah, but he was still proven to get there and the Super Bowl. So he was, who the fuck was Zach Taylor before Joe Burrow? Who was he?
So right now, the way you're looking at it, Saleh is the worst coach in the AFC East.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I would take McDaniel over him. For sure.
Look at you.
For sure.
What happened to that? This is not a happy Monday show right now.
No, listen, I'm just a realist. You know that. Like, it is what it is. I knew at 7-4 that we were going to completely implode.
No, you did not. No,
1,000%.
Nobody did.
Me and you called 7 wins from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but at 7-4, dude, we were all talking playoffs.
No, not me. I was not calling.
You've got to be kidding me.
Run it back. 100%. I said I knew that. I knew who we were playing. Like,
come on,
until
man. At 7-4?
Every week I had to walk into work to other people say, "Why don't you play a real quarterback? Why don't you play a real quarterback?" And then all the injuries happened. We were decimated by injuries, and the AVT thing. Bring it. See, exactly. I said that we were going to completely implode, and I also called in the last 4 games, which, hold on, I have it here from our first show.
Okay.
I just had it here with all those last 4 games. Remember the win and ins that we had to beat Seattle? Yeah. I said that they were going to lose all 4.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, because they came out flat. There's no coaching.
Oh, geez.
See? See?
Listen, man, I don't.
I'm not negative. Like, you guys just got to realize where we're at. We have a coach that's never coached before.
So the Jets Jaguars game, you thought they were going to lose that one?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes,
I was at the game too. I was at the game too.
I remember I didn't go. I was like, I'm going to sit in the rain.
Yeah, and like my dad was like, even after like the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, he's like, same shit. 25 years later, and he took my Zach Wilson jersey off and he threw it. He ripped it off my chest and threw it on the field. And he was like, "This fucking kid is the worst quarterback ever of all time." But I knew right there they would cook. Trevor Lawrence's leaps and bounds, amazing.
Well, and you knew once they came out, you knew they. I mean, that game you could see in the first quarter, like, oh, I've seen this before. Like, you knew.
Well, they did get I knew the game it was going to be when they got the strip fumble and they only settled for field goal.
Yep,
that was it.
Yep, you right there. You knew it. It was like
that's a classic Jets. Like, done. A regular team would be able to do that, but it's the coaching. Trevor Lawrence, the light bulb went up as soon as Peterson came.
All right, we'll do a positive question for you. See how you answer this one.
Okay.
So I have been very, very critical of Jets ownership to the point that they've taken away my press passes. Mm-hmm. So, but I will actually, if they land Aaron Rodgers, I actually give him credit for being bold and actually going for the big fish and getting him. Would you give Woody Johnson credit for it?
Yeah, dude. When have you ever seen the Jets fly out to California? When have you ever heard the ownership give a heartbeat?
Yeah,
that's the thing. And the fact that they went there in the middle of the night and said, "No, I'm getting this guy. This is it." Like, it is what it is. Like, and also he's got to adjust it, but you can't really put it past him too because he did raise ticket prices. So
during a winning streak,
right?
Douchebag,
right. While playing backup quarterbacks, he raised ticket prices. So I applaud them for taking the step forward because we've never seen that as Jet fans. I think even if we don't make the playoffs this year, I think Joe Douglas should have an extension right now anyway, because if they don't give him an extension, they bring it back down. Another law firm's going to take over, like with Idzik and McCagnon and all that shit. You're going to have that shit again.
Well, see, I think in this situation, I give Woody Johnson, full credit for making listen, I want the biggest name out there. I'm going to go after and get him. I'll put the money down because he's going to put some money out of his pocket to get this guy. Obviously, he's going to pay a lot of money. Which is fine. They're aggressive. And he's also kind of saying, you know what? I'm getting tired of losing. I mean, it took Woody Johnson fucking 10 years to figure that out. But I'm glad that he's saying that and putting a sense of urgency around here that, listen, we got to stop losing because it's like this rebuild's taking 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Half a century too late? I mean, it is. It's 54 years. Yeah. And it's like at some point, look at all the teams that are relevant, right? Like the Steelers. Yeah. It's a football family that owns it. These are football-minded people that want to win. The Giants are still, the Maras are still want to win. Like, their rebuild, they got to the fucking playoffs this year with no team. Yeah. That was
coaching. That was Dable's. But now, the one question I have, though, is that, I think Salah's on the hot seat. I don't think Joe Douglas is, dude. And the only reason why I think he's, when you get Garrett Wilson and freaking Sauce Gardner, that's going to save you and Breece Hall and all that.
100%.
But also, this is just me being cynical, but I don't think that the whole Aaron Rodgers thing was a Joe Douglas move. So I think it's like, you know what? I think he probably wanted Derek Carr, and that's where they were going to go. And Woody's like, this is the guy I want. You guys make it happen. So Joe Douglas is like, all right, you're the boss. This is what we're going to do. I think Joe Douglas is a lot safer than Saleh is, though.
I think so.
Right? You agree?
Yeah, because and it's also listen, if shit hits the fan during the season, you got to listen. He's not a good head coach, but Hackett's already been a head coach.
Oh Christ!
So I get it. He's as bad as his father, but at least you have a guy that's done it. And listen, you can't really take Hackett like with the head coaching thing. He was dealing with an asshole who had his own office in the stadium.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. So and who the fuck is Hackett gonna tell Wilson no? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I don't really fault him for the Denver thing, man. I really don't. I think he got handed a shitty situation with a real asshole quarterback, and he was probably dealing with Sierra half the time.
And I think he probably thought Rodgers was gonna follow him.
Right. And it's also if shit hits the fan with Saleh, you can always just put Hackett in there.
Yeah. I think Joe Douglas has got an excellent reputation, and Woody Johnson knows, like, you know what, this guy, he's savvy with the contracts, he gets good trades, he does good things.
Right.
If the shit does it, I think he lasts, but I don't think Saleh will make it though.
No, the catchphrases need to stop. The running up and down the stairs before the game needs to stop.
I like that kind of stuff, man. I like that little energy. Come on, let's run. Let's go.
No. Tell these people that they need to win or they're fired. That's it.
Well, Woody Johnson did do that finally. He did kind of give him that mandate finally.
And they got it. I want him to get in somebody's face on the sideline. I don't want him to be everyone's best friend. I want him what Dable did with Danny Jones. As soon as he threw that interception, he grabbed him by the face mask and said, "You're the fucking worst quarterback. If you don't throw anything better, you're going to be sitting." That's what I want. This guy's soft, dude. He's
to me, what makes me mad is he's a very good cheerleader when things are going good. When things are going bad, he's not involved enough. Like, I'd like to see him on the sideline when his defense is laying a complete egg against Jackson, whatever else. Be like in their faces, be like, we're at home in rain, playoffs on the line. Why are we zombies?
No, the only thing he does is
he's too CEO like that.
He rips the hipster hat off. Yeah. He wears the hipster hat. That's when he gets pissed a little bit. But he's like a high school gym teacher, man. Like he's like that guy that like fills in for your health class, like that everyone loves.
He's that bad. I think he's
like, that guy.
He's like, we all wanted the CEO type head coach, which is fine. He's familiar with both sides of the ball. He's doing good things. Mm-hmm. I want a hands-on guy too when shit's going bad. Like the one thing, I'm old, dude. So I was a big Parcells guy.
You're a Parcells guy.
And I read all his books. I watched all his documentaries, all that shit. And he would always hear the plays in his ear. And he'd be like, you know what? If I'm going to lose a game, I'm losing the game with my play call. So if he heard a play call he didn't like, he'd be like, we ain't doing that. Nope, absolutely not. Run this shit now. That's a legitimate CEO type head coach where it's like, you hear a play on offense. No. We ain't doing 3 running plays in a row. We're going to change this shit up. I don't think Saleh does that. Did he let
I think he goes, what is that? I think that's what he does. I think he says, oh, we are going to punt on fourth and we are going to punt and with the playoffs on the line. Okay. Yes, we will punt. Yeah, that's it. That's what I think he does. Yeah, that's it. It's incredible. Like no urgency. And listen, even if you were decimated by injuries, there's no excuse for that team coming out flat last year. That's on the coaching. You don't let we loved the Mike White things because we're savages, right? We love that. We're big WWE guys. So we're like, fuck yeah, wear the Mike White shirts because that kid sucks. Yep. But you think that shit would fly with Belichick? Do you think that shit would fly with Tomlin? And then have Uzama dress up like a bunny when you just got your ass kicked the last 6 weeks in a row? No. There's no account. Stop being everyone's friend in the locker room. And it's time. This is treated like a job. That's why Tomlin's always relevant because guys want to play for him.
But see, and that's where, you look at some of the stories that came out about LaFleur and Zach Wilson, all this shit, and those are all practice things. We're on practice. It's like, all right, what kind of practice are we running here? Like, where's it? And Garrett Wilson would always hint towards it too, but kind of accountability, like we don't do that in practice, or we're doing that's the kind of things behind the scenes. You're like, what the hell goes on back there? Now, hopefully Hackett's got a lot of experience, so maybe he can weed a lot of this out because it's not like, one of Saleh's biggest mistakes is all these first-time coaches he brought on the staff.
100%.
I don't know why Calabrese still has his job, but what do I know? But that's all these first-timers, and now he had to weed all that out and bring in veteran guys to kind of clean up a mess.
Right.
Because it's just.
I mean, you watch Hard Knocks this year with the Lions.
Yep.
Those are all first-time head coaches, first-time coaches, but they all played. That's the difference. Mark Brunell is a quarterback coach, fantastic quarterback. Yep. Aaron Glenn, fantastic Jet.
My guy, I love that guy.
Right, and Deuce Staley, running back coach. They never coached before. Even when Mangold said he wanted to coach the offensive line, fucking let him. Why wouldn't you have a future Hall of Famer who's actually played the game? I gotta hire the guy that's never played offensive line in the NFL, who likes to go to the pub too many times.
Yeah.
That's who I'd rather hire.
Yep.
I mean, it's so stupid to me. Like, that's the difference. The coaching staff on Hard Knocks to us is night and day.
No, it's interesting. We get all just it's like a doom and gloom stream here.
No, it's not doom and gloom. It's just you got to call it what it is. Fuck. I mean, shit.
So let's get on to something more positive. This
Let's
is why
go.
I actually brought you on the show for this reason, but I figured we talk Jets on first.
Mhm.
So you and Dan and your wonderful show are involved with a huge autograph signing on Saturday.
Yes.
Like enormous, dude. Like this thing's friggin' huge.
Apparently it is.
And yeah, I think first of all, I didn't get an invite. So I'm already pissed about that. I had to find that
sent you
secondhand.
the invite, motherfucker.
So share some information. First of all, where it's at, who's going to be there, and all the stuff.
All right. So Dan, as everyone knows from your show, is that Dan gets all the guests, right? So he is insane with the guests. He's actually got in contact with Kellen Clemens, which I didn't think he would, because that's my favorite player, and Adrian Morrell. So and he's
want to hear a funny Adrian Morell story?
Yes, I love.
I was at an autograph signing. Adrian Morell, it was Adrian Morell and somebody else because he was coming off that 1,000-yard year. He had a big year, right?
Dude, it's tremendous.
So as he's signing autographs, the Jets announced a trade for Curtis Martin.
No, while you were there. Oh my God!
Awkward.
Yeah, and where he went to the Cardinals after that,
he
right?
did.
Yeah. But was he on the team for like 3 years?
He was a good dude, man. He was such a good dude. He was getting better every
good.
year. He was a class act too, man.
I wish they would have kept him with Curtis and had like a 1-2 thing.
Yeah.
Because he's we're having this signing Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having the signing. Long Island National is it's almost like a Steiner Sports here in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw it. Dan just saw it on Twitter, and he's like, oh, look at this. We should definitely go to this and like try to promote the podcast or whatever.
Good idea.
And I'm like, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. And then I said to him on the phone, I'm like, you know what, dude? Ask him if we can promote it on the show. So Dan said it, and the guy was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. And then I was like, wait, let's one up this guy. Let's just see how far we can go until somebody tells us to fuck off, right? And we were like, can we do a live stream podcast from there for like 6 hours? Like, we'll do the whole thing. We'll work for free. We'll do it for free. It doesn't matter, anything. And the guy was like, yeah, fuck yeah. We'll send you up with the thing. And I'm like, no shit. Right. So I'm like, because like, listen, I'm a cheap bastard. So in this signing thing, you have to buy everyone's signature separately.
Yeah.
So if you wanted everyone to sign a piece of memorabilia that you have, you're talking $4,000 with all the amount of people that are going to be there.
What, the Sack Exchange is going to be there. Garrett Wilson's going to be there. Mike Vick.
Yep.
Kevin Mawai, I think is another one, right?
And Mangold will be there. Richie Todd.
Kenny O'Brien.
Wayne Corbett. And I think Lavernius Coles. Don't quote me on that. But Wayne Corbett is definitely going to be there, even though he's not on the flyer. So, like, we were like, fuck, man. Like, I'm really only doing it to, like, meet these dudes. Because I have a Michael Vick jersey, Falcon jersey. I need him to sign. And a Kelly Green Corbett jersey back there.
There you go.
So it's like, so I'm like, oh, let's just see if we could do. And I was like, hey, can we, make sure we have Wi-Fi and all this shit. We never did this before. And
look at you, your first live broadcast.
Yeah,
I just want to go there and heckle you guys. That's all I want to do.
You should. So you should. We got a QR code now that Dan made. So we're gonna post them all over the arena. And so
how does everybody get information? How do they find out? Like, where do they?
They go to longislandnational.com, I believe, or Long Island Shows. I really don't know. It's on. If you go on,
man, it's your event.
It's not my event. I'm just there, But if you go on Jets Turbulence Twitter, we posted it. All the information's in the photo. I think I sent you the photo too.
Yeah.
And so all the information is
on the
bottom.
Is it at Hofstra? Where is it?
It's like down the block from Hofstra. So it's in Hempstead. The address is on there, and it's I don't even know the place that they're doing it at because I live right here. So it's weird, but it's not at Hofstra. It's in the vicinity of Hofstra.
Right.
But if you go on the page, the printout's right on there. It gives you all the information, and you can go on their website. You could buy your signatures right now, so you're guaranteed to meet the person. It's $15 to get in.
Okay.
But if you say you want to meet Mike Vick and you just go right on your phone right now, you just book Mike Vick, pay the $40 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it tells you, photo op, if you want them to sign a jersey, if you want them to,
Yeah.
whatever, 8x10, all of it's laid
I got to
out.
start a GoFundMe so I can get a Garrett Wilson autograph. That's just expensive.
Well, he's the most expensive one. I mean, I got to get an interview with him. I'm going to probably harass him until he sits down at the table and does an interview.
There you go.
Because I'm just going to make him laugh the whole time. And Armin's going to be there. Armin's coming down from Jersey.
That's awesome.
The third amigo.
It's all day Saturday, right?
It's all day. It is 10 to 5.
Nice.
Oh, 10 to 4. So it's all day Saturday. And then if there's any Mets fans in the crowd here, that they're probably Met fans because they like to be terrible 12 months a year with both these teams. That Sunday at the same venue, they're having like a Mets thing.
Nice.
So it's cool.
So I gotta bribe you to get me something Garrett Wilson. I'll bribe you. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna bribe you.
I'm gonna try to get his underwear.
I don't want that.
No, I'm gonna follow him in the bathroom and try to I'm just like, oh, nice, Garrett.
So what time do you guys start? What time do you guys start broadcasting?
10 o'clock on the dot. So we'll be live probably from 10 to 5
on YouTube, right?
On YouTube, right on the channel. You'll see anytime. We'll probably take breaks in between where it's like we'll shut it down. Then we'll start like another live stream because I'll have like the live stream going on my phone too.
Okay.
Because we'll have the laptop and the phone.
Right.
So we're gonna try to get like fans. Anybody that's coming, you want to come on the show and sit at the table and just talk bullshit. It's completely unfiltered. Nobody cares. Yep. It's going to be a good time, I think.
It's cool. It's such a really good opportunity, dude.
It really is. And that's all because of Dan. It's not because of me. I'm just here. So it really is. It's just all Dan. Like, Dan is leaps and bounds phenomenal. I could do all the techie shit.
Yeah.
But, like, he does the PR stuff amazing. And then I just shit on people after. Like, that's
I know. I see that. I watch how you guys do it. It's a fascinating, how you guys work that out.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We tell people we ask people to come on the show, and then we also ask the same people to fuck off.
And now you got Holly Hot Wife at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Well, Armin is that's another thing for a lot of guys on here that haven't tuned into the show. We have a segment in here where we interview adult actresses.
Yes.
So listen, because
you're well-rounded.
Well, what does every Jet fan like at halftime? I mean, that's by halftime the game's over anyway, so you might as well, throw on the hub. But it's she's coming on tomorrow, and she's phenomenal too. Holly Hot Wife on Twitter, great lady, awesome. Like I'm actually nervous to talk to her because I'm a huge fan.
No shit. Are you more nervous to talk to her or Garrett Wilson?
Holly Hot Wife, actually.
No way.
Yeah. Because it's like, the person.
You don't know Garrett?
No, I watch him play football, but, you really know Holly Hot Wife. You know all the nooks and crannies.
I just...
You do. Is that a new tattoo? That's what
Yeah, I get you. All right, so to recap all this, Saturday from 10 to 5, you guys will be live from that show. Correct. If people want to go on your social media. I'll tag your social media thing on this too.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah, so just go there. It's $15 to get in, and there's all kinds of players: Sack Exchange, Mangold, Mawai, Garrett Wilson, Mike Vick. That's all. That's Kermit. That's cool.
Why aren't you coming?
I have 2 fighters fighting that night in Atlantic City.
You'll be back in time.
Bro, no, I won't. I know how Long Island works, dude, and that freaking traffic is ridiculous.
Why don't you just come 10 to 1, and you'll be back by the nighttime?
Dude, I can't. They weigh in at 3, so I can't.
You don't got to be there for that. You know what they weigh. You know what they weigh.
Dude, no, we got to get checked in by the state, all this other shit, too. No, I wish I could, dude. I was so bummed out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Because I thought it was going to be on Sunday. I thought the days were reversed. I wish. Well,
you'll be able to catch the live stream. But and listen, I got to also thank you for seriously, one, becoming my friend. I think that's
not your friend.
Probably not. One, for this friendship that we have through this team. And 2 is also like for coming on the show and giving us a time to speak. Like we wouldn't have our channel without you guys.
Of course, dude.
And we say it all the time, like too. Like it only clicked because we were in backstage and fucking crazy ass Dan's like, oh, my parents live where you work, and I'm like, oh shit, no way. And he's like, dude, we could totally do this. I was like, I think so. So, but like especially the shit you do with mental awareness is leaps and bounds, like amazing. Like, cause that's something I try to preach too. Is like, it's such a thing. And like, I love how dedicated you are to it, because it's people like you who are going to make the difference in that, and it's that are going to take the strides to it. And honestly, I really just can't thank you, Tyrone and Kevin. You guys really always classy guys ever since I called in.
Classy.
And well, always just good dudes. I'm not classy at all. I'm filthy, but it's
it's
really
just
it's
so weird seeing you sitting there, not like walking around the house and like a dog sitting past you and shit.
Yeah, well, because that was before all this. Now I have, like, my wife gave me the boiler room to do this, so it sucks because I actually have to turn the boiler off while I'm doing the show because it will just fucking kick on.
Oh, look at Armin. He's thanking us for bringing Joe and Dan in his life. See, look at that.
Yeah, see, it's and Armin too is just the guy's great with stats. Fucking guy's like quick as a whip, man. You could be like, oh, how many sacks, and then boom, he's got it. Like, it's incredible.
That's
like, he's like our Artie Lang, he's and when he gets really fucking, when he gets going, it's so awesome when he gets going. You think it's funny when I get going? This fucking guy he's got me rolling hysterical every time. If he goes on a rant, it's fucking tremendous.
That's outstanding.
But honestly, I can't thank you enough for even having me on tonight. I mean, this is phenomenal.
Well, no, you guys were super cool, man. Like, first of all, you guys are awesome, man. I always love talking football with you and Dan. I've known Dan forever too, man. It's all cool. Like, we're all like, everybody keeps real. Your guys' channel is doing great. And you guys were nice enough to help me arrange that shit, whatever it was, last Thursday, whatever it was.
I can't wait to hear your Tuesday show.
Oof. Yeah. But no, you guys are super cool, man. It's like, we're all in this together, man. Like, the Jets got a really good group of content creators, man. It's like one big community. Like, I was hanging out with Matt O'Leary on Saturday. Everybody's cool, dude. It's like everybody's no Friday. Everybody's
right,
man.
And everyone's good, and it's just like, we all want the same thing, right? We just want to see competent football.
Yep.
That's it. Like, we just want to see the team go in the right direction. And I think it's going in the right direction. Yep. I mean, it's definitely going to open up the door for another quarterback to come here and be like, fucking old ass Aaron Rodgers did it with a broken line. I could do it, know?
No, absolutely, dude. Well, Joe, give out your information, how we all know where to find you guys, but how everybody can find you and meet up you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, it's easy. Jets Turbulence Podcast on Twitter.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
So I want credit for pointing out the spelling there, because you guys didn't notice that.
Jets Turbulence? You
didn't notice the spelling error. I pointed it out.
You didn't know it. I was fucking wearing it, dude. And Dan texts me and he goes, "Is your shirt fucked up? Like, with the spelling?" And like, I'm like in the middle of typing something at work, right? And I'm sitting at the desk and I go, "Oh yeah, it is. It's Turbulence."
Yep. So, Dan's putting it all over the place, tweeting all over the place. I'm like, wait a minute, it's spelled wrong.
Did you see the picture with his pecs? And he's like this. He's like, and it says Jets Turbulence. Yeah, Jets Turbulence. He's got the fucking filter on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that is so, like, first of all, it's awesome because it would happen to us, right? Yep. So it's so perfectly fitting that our t-shirt guy can't spell.
Yeah, that's great.
So I love it, man. And I want to change the name to Jets Turbulence.
You should. So I didn't mean to cut you up. I forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, remember. So they could find you where? What's all your social media stuff?
Jets Turbulence on Twitter. It's Jets Turbulence on Twitter. Jets Turbulence on YouTube, and just type in Jets Turbulence, and you'll find us. You'll definitely see one of our comments in your feed somewhere.
And then Saturday, 10 to 5, out
10
in
to 5,
Island,
out in Long Island. Address is on the bottom of the flyer. I'm very unprepared with that. It's in Hempstead. So Nassau County, if anyone's coming from out of state, it's only about, because people from out of state think Long Island's like this distant, far away place. It's 25 minutes from Queens.
That's not bad.
So if that makes anyone feel better in the chat, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's all top players, man. When you have Mangold, Mawai, and Garrett Wilson in the sack exchange, you got to go for that.
Great. Dan's going to cream himself.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
He's going to be bone out, just drooling when they're talking to him and shit, just sweating.
100%. He's going to be like, Kenny O'Brien, remember when you threw that game? He's going to be like, remember that?
He's going to leave you in the dust. He
did this because he's older than me, so he does all the older players and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, even with Glenn Foley, he was like, remember that Boston College game, Glenn? I was like, he was fucking there. Of course he remembers.
Yeah.
It. Like,
of course he does.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit.
Oh shit.
Well,
dude.
Joe, thank you for your time. I only asked for a half hour. You gave me an hour, man. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. I wish my wife said the same thing. She asked for a half hour, but gave her an hour. But
thanks for joining me, man. Good luck this weekend. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Tyson.